Om Tat Sat. Today we enter into the final verse, which is verse number 8 of the glorious Rudrāṣṭakam. With this study, our study of the entire 8 verses of Rudrāṣṭakam comes to an end. And plus, this very hour, which is the Chaturtha Prahara, which is marking the end of the Śiva Rātri, is when we are learning this final verse. And what a time to match this verse with the end of the Śiva Rātri. The Chaturtha Prahara, the final hour, it generally lasts from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. So during this hour, it is said to be the hour of Turiya, the final state of consciousness. At this time, the devotee has performed all rituals, all prayers, all japa, and now finally, the devotee still thinks, what more? When do I see the one that I love the most? I have done everything. I have sat meditating the entire night. I have done prayers the entire night. All that I know and all that people do, I follow. Yet, when can I see the one that I love the most? Is a question that can be still there in the mind of a devotee. And verse number 8 of the Rudrāṣṭakam seals that question with a perfect answer. So let us begin with verse number 8 with a single intention to understand how, dear Shiva, I sat awake, I was awake the entire night. I did mantra japa the entire night. I prayed the entire night. Yet, what is missing? Let me know so I can merge with you. And that's what verse 8 teaches us. Verse 8 is Na janami yogam japam naiva pujam Natoham sada sarvada shambhutubhyam jara janma dukhaugha tatapyamanam prabho pahi apan namami shambho. So the most important question, I've done everything. The glorious Śiva Rātri. I sat, meditated the entire night. I prayed the entire night. But how can I see you? How can I realize you? The answer lies in the very first line. Well, beautifully. The devotee now, so connecting this with the previous verse and the previous to previous, verse number 6, the devotee realizes, I pray to you, I don't pray to you, you bless me. Then why should I pray to you? Anandam, bliss, comes only through you, dear Shiva. And in verse number 7, the devotee is clear, I'm going to pray. And still, there's a slight doubt to understand what can give me the final bliss. So we evaluate material things, relationships, people, all that we have had in our life till date, which has only given us happiness for some extent, and then such pain that words cannot describe. So dear Shiva, I am coming to you. So in verse number 7, the relationship is sealed. I am yours and you are mine. And in verse number 8, the final question. I pray to you. I bow down to you. But yet how can I realize you? What is that which is missing in me? Let me know. And that's where these lines, they help us to understand him much more deeply. Na janami. Na janami means I do not know. I am not skilled enough. Yogam, yogic discipline or methods of yoga. Japam, mantra repetition. Naiva, not indeed. Pujam, all kinds of ritual worship. So this is not out of ignorance. Remember, all the prahara on the Śiva Rātri, the first, second, third, and finally comes the Chaturtha Prahara, the final few hours left before the Śiva Rātri ends. The devotee now starts thinking, I have meditated for so long, I have practiced mantra for so long, I have done ritual for so long, yet how can I realize you? So here, this is not coming out of ignorance. These verses come out of true honesty that Shri Shiva is beyond mantra. He is beyond yoga. He is also beyond jnana, knowledge, or any puja. So bhav, surrender, is what we learn in this final verse. The only option is surrender at his feet, as you are. So coming back, doing just this first line, which is Na janami yogam. I do not know. Which means I have tried everything. I do not know why it is not yet connecting me to you. Yogam. There are so many spiritual practices of yoga. Some say do asanas. Some say do pranayama. I've done everything. Yet, I feel there is emptiness in me. I have done japa, constant chanting of the Panchakshari mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Yet I feel you are beyond mantra. Neither can you be attained through worship, ritual worship, puja. So how can I realize you, dear Shiva? How can I realize you? So the devotee now goes much more deeper, introspecting. But our Shiva, he is yoga, but he is also beyond yoga. He is japa, but he is also beyond japa. He is puja, but he is also beyond puja. Then how can we know you? This is one way to see this. Another way to see this is where a devotee has just learned to surrender in their journey. They have just surrendered. Oh dear Shiva, I do not know mantra. I don't even know the Panchakshari mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Will I still be able to attain you? I do not know anything in yoga. I do not know what is pranayama. I do not know what is asana. Neither do I know what is a puja. Can I still attain you? So these are the two types of devotees now, standing in front of Shiva, the one that we love the most after reciting till verse 7. One side are the ones who know yoga, japa, puja. Tried everything, but now coming to a conclusion, you're not reachable through any of these because you're beyond this. On another side is the next devotees who have surrendered and who do not know what is japa, what is yoga, and what is puja. So wherever you fall in your life, remember, our Shiva, the one that we love the most accepts you just the way you are. There is no prerequisites. A person has meditated for so many years. Will he or she attain him faster than a person who has just started to surrender? No. All he wants is your bhav. Bhaje ham bhavani patim bhavagamyam. Emotion, see, this is where bhakti outperforms everything. Bhakti with bhav, not just bhakti. Bhaje ham bhavani patim bhavagamyam. So now we close our eyes. Our prayer for this first line is, Dear Shiva, I am a devotee who knows yoga, who knows japa, yet you are beyond this. How can I realize you? And you can be also another devotee who is telling to Sri Shiva that I do not know japa, I do not know mantra, neither do I know anything about yoga. How can I realize you? I bow down to you, Sri Shiva. Help me. Give me an answer. Bhaje ham bhavani patim bhavagamyam. That is the answer. Bhava. Worship him with love. The love with which you worshipped him was what was missing. So in the fourth prahara, chaturtha prahara, what we understand is what was missing was love for Sri Shiva, bhava. When that is added, everything becomes full. So the prayer is, Dear Shiva, help me to fall in love with you. Help me to always think about you. Help me to be surrendered to you. That is my prayer. Next line. Nato ham sada sarvada shambhutubhyam. Now the devotee here is placing the most important act of worship, surrender. Nato ham, which is nata aham, I bow. Not just physical bowing here, my entire jnana, my entire knowledge, wisdom, mantra, all that I know, yoga. I bow with everything in front of you, my whole life, my mind, my intellect, my manas, buddhi, ahankar, chitta, with my whole being. Natto ham, nata aham. I offer myself to you. Help me to cleanse my antakarana. This is the reason why my bhava has not been increasing towards you. Clear all obstacles in my mind, in my antakarana. So I, oh dear Shiva, can truly, completely surrender to you. Sada, always, every minute. So natoham, nata aham is I bow with everything, with all my knowledge, with all my wisdom, all the yoga that I know, all puja that I know. Or even if I'm someone who does not know it, with all that I know about you, I surrender to you. Because now I have evaluated the world. You are my everything. Sada. Sada means always. Sarvada. At all times, without exception, I surrender to you every minute of my life, every second of my life, every millisecond of my life, because now I have understood there's nothing beyond you. Shambhu, O Shambhu. Shambhu is another name of Shri Shiva. The meaning is the source of auspiciousness and well-being. Tobhyam, unto you I bow down to you. All that I can do is I completely surrender to you. Either you know yoga, you know japa, you know puja, still you fully surrender because he is beyond it. Either you know yoga, either you don't know yoga, japa or puja, we still surrender to him. Because surrender is the final act in devotion. Nato ham sada sarvada shambhutobhyam. Nato ham sada sarvada shambhutobhyam. Which means I offer my everything to you. Not a physical act of surrender, falling down at his feet. No, not just that. That is also a part of this, but this is a deeper surrender. Everything. Tested relationships did not work. For a few years, good happiness. After that, pain and misery. I want to go away from it. What can I do? Now there's no escape. I'm already trapped. Dear Shiva, you are my everything. I accept it now. I accept it now. I've tried good work, tried businesses, tried everything. They were fun at the beginning. But as days and years went by, the same have become pain to me. Everyone here either wants to cheat another, wants to do something to another. Everyone is behind what another person possesses. Now I want to be behind you. Enough of this. Enough of this Leela. I want to end my Leela. Because now my Leela is you alone. The devotee has reached that final stage of surrender, where there is no other desire in the mind. Even a slightest of the desire in the mind for the world is not there. Profession, wealth, power, name, fame, no desire, complete surrender. Nato ham, nata aham. Hence I bow down to you. Remember, here is after all evaluation. We have fallen at his feet. which marks the beautiful end of the Śiva Rātri and the beginning of the Śiva Rātri for the devotee. Beginning in the sense, every day becomes our Śiva Rātri, not just this night. Every day becomes for a devotee. Every hour, every prahara becomes the prahara of Shiva. Not just this one night, not just this 1 or 3 or 4 hours of prayer. At the final surrender, I bow to you. And until when? There's a timeline, right? The timeline is always Sada. Just like you have served me, you have helped me, Sada. When I never believed in you, you looked after me, Sada. Now that I believe in you, I will for Sada always be surrendered to you. Without exception. Sarvada. Not just Sada. Sarvada. Sham bhutubhyam. Sarvada. Because I've tested everything. So I'm not going to surrender to you just for now, or just for a few years, or just until I'm holding this physical body, but rather as long as this jiva is going to be engaging in this leela, is going to be in this divine play forever and ever, without an exception. To whom? Sham bhutubhyam. To you, dear Shiva. That's this prayer. So with our eyes being closed, Nato ham sada, Nato ham sada, Sarvada Sham bhutubhyam. Oh dear Shiva, my next prayer to you is, I surrender to you Sarvada, forever. Sada, Sarvada, not just on this Mahashivaratri. The Mahashivaratri has just been one of the reasons for me to intensify my sadhana. But this ending of the Chaturtha Prahara does not mark the end of my devotion and love to you, but rather this marks the beginning of Sarvada Sham bhutubhyam, the beginning of my surrender to you, the beginning of my commitment to you forever. Remember this, the beginning of my commitment to you forever. Not just for this lifetime. Sarvada Sham bhutubhyam, forever unto you. That's our prayer. With your eyes being closed. Sarvada Sham bhutubhyam. Remember the commitment, not just this embodiment, in every embodiment. Not just now, but forever. Sarvada Shambhutubhyam. Now we move to the next line, the last line. The devotee is now recalling what is the consequences if I don't surrender for Sarvada. Not just in this embodiment, remember? Sarvada means forever, forever, forever. If I don't, this again is a reminder. Jara janma dukhaugha tatapyamanam. Jara, from old age. Constant old age, the jiva, as it moves from sthula sharir to physical bodies, it suffers old age, decay, jara, janma, again, constant embodiment. Gets into a physical body, struggles, drops the physical body, enters into another physical body, the jiva with the sukshma sharira and the karana sharira. It keeps entering. Janma can be seen as birth, getting into another new body. Jara, old age, decay. Janma, birth. Dukhauga, dukkha, dukhauga, which is a flood of mass suffering. Because so much we go through, people trouble us sometimes, family troubles us sometimes, friends trouble us sometimes, relatives trouble us sometimes, the loved ones hurt us sometimes. Every day there's so much of emotions. Profession. To live in this world, we have to create an income. Everywhere there is constant suffering. Within the body there's suffering. Mental there is one suffering. External there are so many suffering. So the jiva is now tired. The bhakta, the devotee, has now had enough. Reminding, because to make it sada sarvada shambhutubhyam, you'll have to again remind yourself. It's a reminder that I cannot get into this trap again. I've had enough. It's like a person who's been in a prison. Let us say 70 years is our sentence. Assuming our lifespan is still 100. Into prison when we were at the age of 20. And then 70 years was the imprisonment period. So which makes it 90 years. I got 10 more years to live. At the age of 90, I remind myself again, never do I want a life like that again. Even if I want to commit a crime when I'm 95, 96, the antakarana will very quickly guide me. Never. Never. That suffering was too much. Not again. I can't take it anymore. So this is a reminder. The devotee is again reminding, what if I surrender to Shri Shiva? And we can also look for material power, name, fame. Doesn't it go together? And the antakarana or the jiva is now remembering, never, never. This is what I thought. This is what I thought. But I'll enjoy both. I got into trouble, but now it is only Shri Shiva. When I surrender to him, whatever I get, it is my seva for him. But I am not going to look, search, find, take anything which is not for me. For me now, It is only He alone. So the devotee is now reminding, thinking of the past, how painful it was. Jara janma dukhaugha. Jara janma dukhaugha. Jara janma tatapyamanam. The devotee is now very clear that old age, jara, janma, birth, dukkhauga, a flood of mass suffering. Tatapyamanam, tatapyamanam, tatapyamanam has been tormented, has been constantly tormented by pain. Such is the memory which is now coming back of how I have suffered. So dear Shiva, I bow down to you. Let me remember, let me not forget. Let me no longer be ignorant. Jara, old age. Old age keeps approaching. We are growing old every day. Our body becomes weak. Yet, desire is always youthful. There's one person within us who never grows old. Ichha, desire. Even if you are at the age of 85, 90, 95, there's one person who will never grow old, who's always young, waiting for you. Ichha, desire. So stay away from it. Now our ichha, our desire is Shri Shiva alone. Janma, constant embodiments. Where there is too much pain involved, dukkhauga, too much of pain, suffering involved. Tatapyamanam, tatapyamanam. Being scorched, tormented, afflicted because of this. So the devotee is now regaining that consciousness. So with your eyes being closed, we now start with the prayer. The dear Shiva, I have always ignored you. I have always forgotten you in every embodiment. But now I don't wish to forget you anymore. I wish to remind myself of the pain and the suffering that I have been through, so I can be fully committed to you in this journey. This is our prayer. See, whenever we want to be committed in our journey, we think of what hurt us the most, so that we don't commit that error again. Similarly, the Jiva is here, or the Bhakta, the devotee here, is reminding oneself that enough of jara janma dukhaugha tatapyamanam. So with your eyes being closed, we pray, O Shri Shiva, now it is you alone, my only goal. I will no longer go back to ignorance. And then comes the final line, where the devotee completely surrenders forever to the one that the devotee loves the most, or the one that we love the most, Shri Shiva. Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. Prabho, O Master, O Swami, O Bhagavan Shiva. So Prabho here is Bhagavan Shiva, the Creator. Pahi, protect, save me. Apan, apana. Apana is the one who has fallen in distress, who has taken refuge in you. Mam, me. Apana mam. Me, who has fallen in distress, who has finally taken refuge in you. Isha, Ishvara, dear Shiva. Shambho, my dear Shiva, who's Shambhu, the source of peace and auspiciousness. I bow down to you. Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. So the final line ends the conversation. There's no more speech, which marks the end of the Śiva Rātri and the beginning of the devotees' forever union with Shri Shiva. Every day becomes a Shiva Shubha, Subha and Śiva Rātri, which means Shiva is the morning, afternoon, evening and night. He is our everything after this. Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. Namami shambho. We bow down to you. Protect me, O Shri Shiva, because I can get confused. I can get lost. I have tried my best. I have reminded myself with the previous line. If you remember the previous line, where the devotee reminds, Jara janma dukhaugha tatapyamahanam Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. I finally surrender to you. There's nothing else but you alone for me. Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. So with our eyes being closed, this is the final prayer. O Shri Shiva, protect me, protect me, protect me, the one who has always been in misery, the one for whom there has always been bad luck, the one for whom there has always been pain, worry. Protect me, as I am the one who has always been suffering. Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. With our eyes being closed, Prabho pahi apan namami shambho. 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 Namami Shamishana Nirvana Rupam. So here the devotee enters into the stage of Turiya, which marks the end of the Śiva Rātri and the beginning of the devotee's state of Turiya, constant bliss. Because the devotee has reminded oneself that now I have taken refuge permanently at the feet of the one that I love the most, Śrī Shiva. So let us recite this entire verse along with our prayer. Na janami yogam japam naiva pujam. Now you can recite. Natoham sada sarvada shambhutubhyam. Jara janma dukhaugha tatapyamanam. Prabho pahi apannamami shambho. Our first prayer. Dear Shiva, now I have realized that you are my everything. Tried everything, tested everything, but all have resulted only in this. Jara janma dukhaugha tatapyamanam. They have only given me pain. Hence I bow down to you, because you are the only one who can give me anandam forever. Because you are Isham Girisham, the one who stands like a rock, a mountain, and protects me. Isham Girisham. Hands I bow down to you. We recite again. Na janami yogam japam naiva pujam. Natoham sada sarvada shambhutubhyam. Jara janma dukkhauga tatapyamanam. Prabho pahi apannamami shambho. We close our eyes and we pray now. Dear Shiva, na janami yogam japam naiva pujam. Whatever I know is very little, yet I make a lot of error. Dear Shiva, you are beyond this. Help me, guide me. All that I can do is Bhaje ham bhavani patim bhavagamyam. With all my love I surrender to you. I may make errors in my puja because na janami yogam, na janami yogam. I may make errors in my yoga. Japam naiva pujam. I may make errors in my japa and puja. But nato ham sada sarvada shambhutubhyam. I will forever surrender to you. How? Bhaje ham bhavani patim bhavagamyam. With pure bhava, love for you. That's our final prayer. Nato ham sada sarvada shambhutubhyam. Namami shambho, namami shambho, namami shambho, namami shambho, namami shambho, namami shambho. Namami Shamishana Nirvanarupam.